Hi everyone, this is Hamid Jaifat. I'm from FAT Solutions. We are a Gold Microsoft partner. Um, Today, and in this video, I'm going to explain about the AI-DBA architecture, the features, and I will show you some demonstration how to install it, configure it, at the same time receiving the recommendations and how AI-DBA can benefit DBAs or companies that even they don't have DBAs. 100%, and how AI can revolutionize the database administration task. As I said, this is Hamid Jaifat. I'm the program manager, chief product evangelist, and my email address, my phone number, and the LinkedIn. You can connect with me anytime through email or LinkedIn. I will be more than happy to answer your questions about our product. Move your business forward intelligently. Since 2 years back that we initiated the AI-DBA, we come out with the idea that why not everything will be intelligent. I'm not talking about automation, intelligent plus automation. I believe that a lot of softwares are exist in the market that they do monitoring, automations and so on, but so far, none of them is doing the intelligent database administration, such as it learned from different environments and it even search in Google automatically and come out with the resolutions or the scripts and the recommendations on the specific environment. It learns from all environment that been installed, but recommend specifically for your environment and the challenges that you have. It can be performance, it can be hardware resource utilization, it can be security, staff, or even the reporting and the management, monitoring systems, and so on. So that's why AI-DBA came into the picture. AI-DBA supports SQL 2005 to 2019 on-prem, on-cloud. It can even handle Azure SQL Database, Azure SQL Data Warehouse, and manage instance, as long as the target RDBMS is SQL Server, and it connects and collect the statistics data. I'm saying that statistics data later on we will go through the workflow, and once it collected, it performs the machine learning analysis, come out with the cause and effect analysis, then it order prioritize the recommendations changes within your environment, database engines. If the DBA or the system administrator approve it, then it will automatically schedule it based on the system peak and non-peak hours. So everything is intelligently happen by machine learning and analyzing the database servers. Our vision and mission for AI-DBA is to ensure the smooth running database environment and promote artificial intelligence for database administration. What we are going to promote for AI-DBA, DBAs should not worry about that, hey, this system is going to take over our job or is doing what we are doing. Of course, it's doing what you are doing, but it will allow you to make decision instead of learning the high technical scripts or very detailed in the technical, and you spend a lot of time on scripting and so on. You will be proactive instead of reactive. Like, for example, if your database is going to have performance issues, AI-DBA will already recommend you what you need to do to overcome the future performance issues based on your database workload, based on the hardware resource utilization, based on the history that you have within your database, and also what you learn from different environments. So before you face the performance issues or even database corruption, it will recommend you to be proactive instead of reactive. So this is not something that is going to remove DBA job or the job role and take over your workplace. No, it's going to help you to be more productive, proactive, and at the same time, you do the management level decisions like AI-DBA can suggest you, hey, you have server A, server B, why don't you do the clustering? Because based on the analysis, the workload, environment, the users, connections, network latency, everything, this is good to go for HADR. And depends to the versions, editions, compatibility level, which version, which solution for HADR you can go for mirroring, for AG, for traditional FCI, the failover cluster instance, or you can use log shipping. It provides you lots of insights, and at the same time, it will guide you to what you need to do for your environment. Just imagine AI-DBA learns every second and it will apply to your environment. I mean, it learns from all the environments and it can apply to one specific environment, or it learns from one environment and apply to all other environments. So it's like all for one, one for all. This is what French people they say is the proverb that um, so one person or one database environment can have something that it can um, help other environments. Just imagine which DBA can work at the same time for 100 or 1,000 different companies. Of course, we cannot find it. Um, and at the same time, learning about the environment, the errors, warnings, changes in the system, forecasting, and sharing the knowledge. So AI-DBA is sharing the systematic knowledge between every AI-DBA instance and database environment. I just want to show you how it works for very simple tasks or simple things that we implemented. I can say I should not reveal any high technical, but it's fine. Just imagine AI-DBA knows the best. Of course, even our technical team, they solely rely on AI-DBA for any kind of consultation, HADR, performance tuning, corruption recovery, or all kind of thing. They rely on AI-DBA. Imagine here we have company A, B, C on board, um, and these companies, they have different industry, which is banking, healthcare, retail, and the workload as well, high, medium, high, and the major issues are different. CPU, memory, network utilization. The other one, the first priority of the major issue is network, disk I/O, query elapsed time, and so on. And AI-DBA come out with the recommendations. What it came to company A, Rec B, C, D, E, F, and so on. And it will evaluate after it applied the recommendation, what is the direct impact and on which resources. Is it on CPU, memory, disk, network, or query elapsed time? So imagine like it performs recommendation A and B on company A, the direct impact and indirect impact. Let me explain what is direct impact and indirect impact. Some of the recommendation, it try to solve the specific problem like performance issues for example certain reports that they are running so slow. It will improve those reports in terms of elapsed time and resource utilization, but it might have indirect impact, which indirect impact can be negative or positive. Indirect impact can be on opening a form in the application, it got hurt, and instead of within a second it opens the form, it takes 2 seconds. So, or instead of disk IO reduce, it increase. So this is the things that it will collect it, direct and indirect impact. Then for the new company, which is company X here, it will come out, it will say, okay, your priority is memory, disk IO, CPU, which similar I don't have, but I have um, close to such environment, which they were looking for memory as a second priority, and the CPU utilization as a first priority here, and the memory utilization and the disk IO utilization as or disk IO contention as second priority here. Then it come out and say, okay, my direct impact and indirect impact. Then it look at it. Memory is high, so memory is 6. Recommendation B can go. And indirect impact is for the CPU. Okay, CPU as well. Then it goes, for example, the another one is recommendation E is the memory as well, is the direct impact, because first priority is memory. Then the CPU as well is a third priority, which indirect impact. So it will come out with the recommendation B and E. And if it try to resolve the disk IO contention, it will come out with the recommendation C as well. So it will be B, C, D. This is the recommendations that Ai-DBA will send to company X, because based on the historical data in different environments and the type of recommendation is done, and also it will do the cross-checking of the hardware resources as well. So hardware resources of X company, is it similar to A, B, C? The workload as well, the what do you call it, the major issues as well. So you can see that basically Ai-DBA is doing the best and knows the best. And when it expands and more environment comes into our repository, then you will see that wow, a lot of recommendations can come out and resolve the problems within few minutes or few seconds. So this is the workflow. Imagine we have an environment. I mean the company that having two environments, one production and one UAT. This is the starting point, as see here. It collect the statistics data. So a lot of people, they ask me, especially the prospect, that what is the statistics data? Is it going to get our user data or something that confidential data? I say no. This is statistics data, which any DBA, any software monitoring tools, they are accessing your SQL server. They are getting that specific data. For example, what is your database IOPS? What is your database CPU utilization? What is your database memory utilization or network latency, and so on. So from here on, it collects the statistics data. It analyzes it and apply the machine learning, and within every 24 hours to 48 hours send out the recommendation and weekly reports. So weekly reports is every week, every 7 days, that a DBA or the system administrator receive that report. It's quite basic report because Ai-DBA is not a monitoring tool. Our objective is to provide recommendation tool. Monitoring tool is, as I mentioned, plenty of them are in the market and you can have it anytime. But recommendation tool, just the only Ai-DBAs exist in the market. So once the recommendation sent out to the DBA can review the code and approve it. Once it approve it, then the agent which is installed in the environment, it will schedule it and execute it. If we have UAT environment and we assign this server as a UAT for this server, it will apply in the UAT first. Then it will send back the feedback to the DBA and say, okay, it's already applied. Do you want to continue for production? And if DBA approve it, then it goes and apply in production. But a lot of environments, they might not have the UAT environment. The production don't have UAT environment, so it goes directly and apply in the production. To be clear, every recommendation has undo script as well. If it's going to create an index, it has the drop script as well. If it's going to alter the index, it has the alter index to revert it back. So every action has undo script as well. If you apply the recommendation and you see that, hey, it hurt my system in terms of performance or in terms of application functionality, you can just click on undo and immediately will undo it. And another one that we made it is the intelligent approval. Intelligent approval, it will check the database workload and which recommendation is appropriate to apply at that time or schedule it for future, automatically will schedule it. So we don't need the DBA approval. It's the intelligent approval that it performs automatically. So this is the workflow, and a lot of our customers who don't have DBAs, they are going for intelligent approval, and they are happy with that. I'll share with you some of the testimonials. So installation and configuration is quite easy, which I will show you later on. We just install like any other installation. Next, 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 and finish, done. So later on is the username, password, login to the management for the configuration of the Ai-DBA, and we configure it. Where's the cache directory, where's the destination or repository server, whether we are going to use multi-thread or we are going to have the Active Directory synchronous or synchronization process, account ID, username, password, and whether we want to keep or archive whatever statistics data been collected by Ai-DBA or any activity that is being done by Ai-DBA, we can archive it as well. So, and once the installation is finished, then it runs a service. 24 hours it's running and everything works well. So the features at glance, it come out with the performance optimization or performance tuning. It come out with the preventive maintenance, proactive administration, deadlock troubleshooting, blocking troubleshooting, security audit, high availability, disaster recovery, advanced communication, and management report, which is basic reports for DBAs or IT guys. I just want to show you, this is at a glance, so the area that Ai-DBA is supporting. So another things that I want to inform that we have advanced communication, which is the email NLP. Our DBA, our customers, they can send email to Ai-DBA system and request to do something like create the database, create a login, map the security, backup database, restore database, and Ai-DBA respond to them and collect the data and do whatever is needed, then at the end reply them and say, okay, the job is done. Or for example, performance optimization here, Ai-DBA, it collect the long running queries, it rewrites the query, it analyzes the execution plan to come out with the new indexes. It's not only the missing indexes within execution plan, sometimes it's the key lookup, RID lookup within the execution plan, or clustered index scan, which it doesn't appear in new indexes or so on. So it will analyze it, entire execution plan, and come out with the consolidated indexes. This is what Ai-DBA is doing. And the performance wise, I can see during our test, it was doing about analyzing 100 execution plans within 30 seconds. So basically the human DBA, even I myself, I'm not able to do that. It takes even 10 seconds to open the execution plan. So this is the detailed features. So you can see based on the environment that the area that I mentioned, it come out with the detailed features like intelligent job monitoring. This one, if there is any abnormal job elapsed time, then it will inform you. Storage capacity watch online within 5 seconds, it will inform you as well. Intelligent peak hour detection, it will come out with the peak hour and non-peak hour timetable. It means that your maintenance window is flexible. It's not fixed maintenance window like every Saturday or every Sunday at specific time you can perform the maintenance. So based on this, you can come out with a dynamic maintenance window. Intelligent data access pattern analysis. If let's say you have business users who are accessing the database and you want to track them. You want to know where they are accessing, what sort of data they are collecting. This intelligent data access pattern analyzes the user behavior for 3 months, and any abnormal activities, it will email you within 2 minutes immediately, and you can deny the access for that specific user. These are the performance tuning features, like as I mentioned, this execution plan analysis, expression optimization, table structure optimization means it will uh, rewrite, or I mean, it will restructure your table based on the queries and the expressions that within the query. Then it come out with creating the statistics as well, not the one that SQL is creating. Beside that, based on your query, it will come out with the statistics that is needed. There is one machine voice call as well. If let's say in advanced communication, if let's say your SQL Server encounter bad sectors or encounter severe errors, health issues, then it will make a voice call to you within 10 seconds, instead of on Monday you come and see, oh, my SQL Server was having some bad sectors or some issues last Friday. And another one which is very interesting for those people, those DBA that they are in data center, is the consumption rate report. This part of the report, it shows you that your SQL Server, out of, let's say, the cores that you provide to the VM or the physical machine, out of the CPU, the processor resources, how many cores it's been using for all this time. Let's say you are providing 14 cores or 16 cores or I don't know, 32 cores for your SQL Server, but you are not sure how much or how many cores that your SQL Server is using. Consumption rate is studies, and it tells you, okay, it's using 16 core out of 32, or 8 cores out of 16, or 2 cores out of 16. This will give you vision and the insights that if let's say you want to do consolidation, or you want to do hardware upgrade, or VM downgrade, how many cores do you need for your environment, and is sufficient. This is very insightful, and it's very informative for DBA. And the rest is like it will analyze the workload for HADR. It come out with the recommendations as well. So this is the time that I want to show you a demo, um, how to install and configure Ai-DBA. So let me put my VM here. Okay, that's great. I'm having some resolution issues. No problem. Oh, that's too much. View. So this is my environment. This is the email that's already integrated as demo at ai-dba.net. Um, go to the install. This is the setup file. We extract it. Okay, fantastic. Then we click on setup. Next, I accept the agreement. Then we install in this path. Finish. So when we look at it, we have Ai-DBA here. It's the configuration. So for this one, it's demo admin as user and password. So it's quite simple. It's one-time off configuration. You don't need to do it um, more than one time unless the SQL server migrated and so on. This is the account ID, that demo, the company name, join date, expiry date, and um, recommendation sense, and the check interval is 7 days, and license as well. This is up to 5 email address we can put as recipient emails for recommendations, alerts, or even the reports as well. Click on things. So here, last time we had the configuration. This is our demo SQL, and here is the cache directory. This is our repository server. I put that multi-thread, and here is the other config. If let's say we install the Ai-DBA agent on third-party server, or they call it proxy server, and connect to the SQL servers, then we can choose proxy server because it will behave differently. If we install Ai-DBA next to the SQL server within the same host, which in my demo I'm doing that, we just choose the SQL server host. Even for this SQL server, we can test the connection. We can exclude the databases. So any database you don't want SQL server to perform recommendations and so on, we can just exclude it. Even we can come out as mark as UAT4. Let's say I add on another server. Is the demo SQL server prod, and I use the same server. And let's say I'm just doing for demo for sure that should not be SA login in the production or deployment of Ai-DBA. You need to provide dedicated SQL login or the Windows authentication or Windows AD account. But make sure in the SQL server is marked as sysadmin role, because once you approve the recommendation and it needs to run the recommendation, it needs to have access to all the databases and all the environment. So we just save it, and let's say we right click here, mark UAT for demo, done. So if do you remember we recall that workflow? If we have UAT environment, it will apply on UAT first, then it will get approval to apply on production. So this is the UAT for this guy, and for UAT it doesn't collect any data, it doesn't consider as production, it just apply recommendations. But make sure your UAT environment is identical with your production environment, not outdated, because some customers, they have outdated UAT environment. So this one we need to make sure that it's identical. And if let's say I want to make it as UAT, then it will say that it's error. So this is something that we can take care of it. So I just do this. Okay, this is the thing. I apply, close it, done. It's done. So let me go to the services. Yep, here I have two services here. One is update service, which is automatically will update your Ai-DBA agent, and this is the Ai-DBA agent instance. So I just right click and start it. So let's go to the temporary folder which we create, ctemp. So now it's collecting the data, is collecting the Windows event log is done, the network statistics is going to collect. So after a while you will see that the folders are adding, your SQL server name is collecting the data, then after that it will upload it to our Azure repository, unless you guys want to have full on-prem, which is different type of deployment. This is the cloud model of deployment. So it will collect it, upload it, then come out with the recommendation, and recommendation appears in your email. So this one, yeah, this is the configuration and installation. Let me proceed. So this is the notification engine from Ai-DBA. As I said that we have a lot of different type of emails, but I just choose some of it. This is let me screen pointer option. This is the weekly report, which you can check for resource utilization, database activity, event log, capacity planning, trend, user data access, network latency, and even agent job scheduling, and so on. And this is the full stack automation. If you don't apply the recommendation for a month, Ai-DBA will realize that and it will ask you to apply for full stack automation. And this is for savior alerts, and this is for data access pattern analysis. If this user, this activity, then we can just click on deny access link. Immediately will deny the access for that specific user. This is the timetable, peak and non-peak hours for your instance, the SQL instance. This is the recommendation email sample. For example, tempdb file configuration. And once we click on execute button, it will map the next non-peak hour with the execution plan. The recommendation. Then after that, it will schedule it for you. So for example, if we click here, book, and it's already scheduled on Monday, this date 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., which is green, is non-peak hour. So it can run it without any hesitation. So this is query optimization. You will receive an email if the query is considered under long-running queries, and it come out with this email and say, okay, Ai-DBA did some query optimization on this database, this object name, type, and improvement percentage, which is estimated. If we click on this, let me if we click here, you see that okay, you will see that server name optimized query, which is this one comes with the table structure change, at the same time creating some indexes and changing the query as well. So if you look at it, the query, the optimized query and the original query is different. And again, you have undo, but this one will never run automatically. As you see, there's no execute button, it's just view. You need to view it, you need to ask your developers or application support to change the query. So the DBA should not do that. Basically, this one is considered as proactive database administration. You need to know which query that it has room for improvement. So this is it. And let me show you whether it gets some recommendations. It seems that it's not yet collected, so I can show you some other recommendations. This is for our live environment. I'm showing that there's nothing like things. For example, this is the recommendation for creating missing indexes, and we view the script. You can see the viewing the script. It has all undo everything. You can just copy the script and paste it. Or for example, you can just click on execute button and it will schedule it for you, or you can click on undo or ignore the recommendation. Or this is the process blocked. Let's say there's a process that is blocking others, and what's the duration, what's the process queue, and so on. It will notify you immediately as well. Um, like um, instance configuration as well. So you can see that everything is automated, like abnormal agent job, 16 minutes for the backup of this database. Let me show you some data access. Yeah, like for this one, wait. Like for example, this one, this is the data access pattern analysis. So this is the select, this is the user, then I can deny the access. If I click deny, it will ask me, do you confirm that? Then I confirm it. If I confirm it, within 10 seconds, this user will, the access for this specific table will be revoked from this user. So I'm not going to do that. So so this is everything is through email, and you can just rely on Ai-DBA. If there's anything, you just rely on it, and um, done. DBAs should not be worried about this. So we were here. Impact on productivity. If you guys are a DBA in a big organization, if your company has 1,000 databases, how many DBAs you guys are working in that environment? 10, 15? With Ai-DBA, it can remain the same, but your productivity will increase. So if you guys are 10 DBAs for 1,000 databases, you can do deep level or more technical stuff and proactive instead of just being reactive. So it's everything will impact by Ai-DBA. Let's say you guys are doing a health check for your SQL instance, and without Ai-DBA, this is based on our experience, it will take about 6 to 8 hours, and with Ai-DBA 1 to 2 hours. Technical findings, it will take about 4 to 6 hours, but with Ai-DBA is less than 1 hour. And rectifying the technical issues is 7 to 9 hours, but with Ai-DBA is less than 1 hour. And this is our case studies that software license provider in Malaysia, that the database workload elapsed time reduced 9 times. Some of the reports was running for few minutes, about 20 minutes. Now it become 2 to 3 minutes. It's reduced significantly. Manufacturing business, the database corruption rate decreased. Last time they had a lot of database corruption, but Ai-DBA analyzed the hardware events, Windows event logs, database activity, and the workload, and forecast it. So even before the database corruption happens, it even forecasted. And another one is the agency, which the memory utilization reduced 50%, and 50% is huge. It was 90 GB memory utilization reduced, and it led them to have higher database availability because they were using the hyper-converged configuration of the infrastructure. And this is the the 5 signs that is good to go for Ai-DBA. First, your basic support fee eating up your budget. Second, putting the bill for performance tuning. You are paying a lot for performance tuning. And number 3 is your outdated support model based on ticket or based on man days. That doesn't work anymore. Is the problem you need to be, it needs to be solved. And per ticket, per man days, it doesn't make sense anyway. And another one is your company trying to resolve the problem by themselves. And yeah, that doesn't work anyway. And number five, which is the last, is there's not enough time or money for your company for innovative projects and to change the database management process. So this is why you need to get AI-DBA, or at least adopt to it. I'm not going to force you guys to get it. At least you can try it. No worries, no harms. Um, this is Microsoft Azure Marketplace because AI-DBA is already under IP Coastal, and we have full support of Microsoft worldwide to promote our solution. So this video was just introducing the AI-DBA to you guys. Thank you very much. So um, after this, you can visit fat-solutions.com, our company website, or you can just follow our company, Fat Solutions Sendirian Berhad, or SDNBHD, in LinkedIn. You follow our company page in LinkedIn, and you will get all the updates on the AI-DBA features. Uh, if you would like, you can just send me an email if you want to trial, you want to try the AI-DBA. We can provide you the trial account for 2 weeks. You can try AI-DBA. You can get the recommendations. You play with it. You enjoy using AI-DBA. That's good for us, and that's good for you as well. And thank you very much. Thanks for your time, and have a great day ahead.